Okay, so I want to help you guys learn just a little bit more about the MTHFR gene and when it's mutated. And I'm not a doctor and I'm not a health professional. My degree is in counseling and my undergrad is in psychology. But I'm just a research nerd, and my husband has this genetic mutation, so I've been learning more about it lately. And I think that we talk a lot about this because we have methylated folate in XFACTOR and XFactorPlus and in XFACTOR kids. And I wanted to help people understand that if you have a mutation on the MTHFR gene, that XFACTOR and XFactorPlus are wonderful and they're super helpful because methylated folate helps skip past the stuff that genetic mutation has trouble with. So if you take in folic acid and you have this genetic mutation, you're going to struggle to convert it into methylated folate, which is the usable, absorbable form that your body needs in order to be able to do its detox functions in the liver, in order to be able to make enough serotonin in your body, in order to turn homocysteine into methionine. And if you can't turn homocysteine into methionine because you don't have enough methyl donors, then you end up developing far more inflammation in your body, and you're at a higher risk for things like heart attack and stroke and blood clots and things like that. So it can have some very big repercussions if you struggle to convert that. So if you take methylated folate, you skip past all the stuff that gene struggles to do, and you have what you need. And the dosage in XFACTOR and XFactorPlus is a very low dosage of methylated folate. It's a good place to start. But if you have a mutation on the MTHFR gene, XFACTOR and XFactorPlus will not be enough on their own to give you the amount of methylated folate that you are going to need to compensate for this mutation in your body. So do recommend it to people who have this because it's super helpful and it's a great place to start. And because having the methylcobalamin, which is the B12 in its methylated form, and having B2 and B3 that help regulate the processes in the body that you need methylfolate and methylcobalamin to do, it's really great to have all of those combined. So it's a good product, but you're just going to need more. And you might need folinic acid in addition to methylated folate. That's something you might meet with a nutritionist to discuss because they might know best. But if you are taking Vital Biome and not finding help with your anxiety, I highly recommend that you try supplementing with folinic acid, which is not folic acid. It's different. But you can get folinic acid from Seeking Health, from other companies as well. But I would start at 800 micrograms in the morning for a week, which is one. And then I would add in another second one at night the second week, and then take 3 your third week and 4 your fourth week, and see if that makes a difference when Vital Biome is not. But also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the gallbladder and MTHFR's effect on the gallbladder. So if your body has trouble taking in folic acid and making it into methylfolate and if you struggle with that, then you're not going to have enough methyl groups donated by that methylfolate to your body. You need methyl groups donated by that in order for your liver to be able to make bile that is slick, and in order to make bile that will empty out of the gallbladder easily and fully. Now, if you don't have enough methyl donors, the body still is going to make bile, but it's going to try to find other things to recruit, to use, to make that bile. And eventually it ends up recruiting what it needs from sugars in your body. And that makes your bile sticky, because sugar is sticky. If you've ever spilled sugar on something, you know how it makes it just stick, and it's no longer slick. So now you have bile that is sticky, and it has trouble fully emptying out of your gallbladder when you eat and when you need it to digest. So one of the reasons that people can end up with gallbladder problems is because they don't have enough methyl donors to make bile correctly. So they have a slick, instead of having a slick bile, they have a sludgy, sticky bile. And so when you end up meeting people who have had their gallbladder out in their 30s or their 40s, that screams to me that they need to check out their MTHFR status. It might be something else, but that's the most direct effect that mutation has on the digestive system, is how it affects the gallbladder and whether or not the bile going through is able to be made so that it's slick and can empty completely, or if it's sticky and gets stuck in there and starts causing problems with blocking up that duct. So MTHFR is a big deal, and XFACTOR and XFactorPlus are fantastic, and they are really, really a great foundation to lay in someone's life. But if they have this problem, they are probably going to need to supplement with more methylated folate or folinic acid. Folinic acid focuses more on DNA production, so if you have someone who's had a lot of hair loss post-chemo treatment or from other things, then folinic acid can be a great thing to take because it helps with that DNA production in the body of making more hair or more cells if you've got slow skin repair, things like that. But also, you really need to get rid of folic acid in your diet, because you can take all the methylated folate that you want, but if you've taken in a ton of folic acid from enriched breads or enriched pastas or crackers, then that folic acid is going to gum up the receptors that you need to have free and available for that methylated folate. And if those receptors are gummed up with folic acid, they're not open and available for methylated folate. And so then you can't use the methylated folate that you're taking as a supplement. That folic acid is blocking it and getting in the way. And also that folic acid can actually end up becoming harmful to your body as it builds up, because your body's not able to break it down into the components that it's supposed to break it down into. That gets really complicated. If you are curious, I can send you videos to learn more about that. But I just wanted to give a little bit of teaching here on MTHFR so that we don't offer XFACTOR or XFactorPlus as the holy grail and only answer for people who have this problem. Because it is a good foundation, and I highly recommend it, but you'll need additional things, and you'll need to definitely make a change in diet. So hope this was helpful to you, and if you want to know about your MTHFR status, the cheapest way to do that is through 23andme.com. They have two different options of what you can do with them. You can choose an ancestry background, which will not tell you about your genetic issues, or you can buy the health and ancestry one, which is $199, and it will give you information about your genetic makeup. You might need a doctor to help interpret the results, but I can tell you from our own experience that it's cheaper to do it from 23andme.com, and it will tell you so much more information than it is to have your doctor run a blood test. And insurance usually does not cover the MTHFR blood test, so it can be expensive. So I hope this was helpful to any of you who are out there wanting to have a little bit more understanding about MTHFR. It's really very complicated, and sometimes the last thing I will say is sometimes what you need is methylated folate, but when you start taking it, your body has been so used to compensating in other ways for a long time that it can react poorly to the methylated folate, even if it's what the body needs. So there can be a process of introducing it in low doses and working your way up to higher doses you may need to go through, and there might be other supplements that you need to work into your diet and your body to help prime your body to better be able to take in that methylated folate. And there are articles and videos about that as well, but that's just to let you know that sometimes it's not just as easy as throwing XFACTOR at somebody. I wish that it were, but that's definitely not been the case for my husband. And, we're all doing our best to figure out how best to supplement and help our bodies. So just hope this information is helpful to you guys. Have a great day.